The Dutch Grand Prix was supposed to be Ferrari's moment of redemption. Coming into Zandvoort, the mood inside the scuderia was cautiously optimistic. They weren't predicting miracles, but there was a quiet confidence that maybe, just maybe, Ferrari had turned a corner. Lewis Hamilton had been showing progress in red, beginning to look more comfortable in the SF25. Charles Leclerc, though frustrated in recent races, had been pushing relentlessly to prove that Ferrari's upgrades and strategic tweaks could actually deliver results. The weekend had the makings of something steady, perhaps not a win, but a statement. Instead, it turned into chaos. A brutal double DNF, Hamilton out after a shocking crash, Leclerc eliminated after a fiery collision with Andrea Kimi Antonelli, and in between those disasters, a storm of emotions. Hamilton's disappointment, Leclerc's furious radio outbursts, Antonelli's penalty, and Ferrari fans watching their hopes crumble yet again. This wasn't just another bad Ferrari weekend. This was the kind of implosion that leaves scars, the kind that gets replayed in highlight reels for all the wrong reasons, and the kind that raises tough questions, not just about the drivers but about Ferrari's direction as a whole. So today we're unpacking everything: Hamilton's rare mistake and his emotional post-race admission, Leclerc's fury at both strategy and circumstance, Antonelli's controversial role in the chaos, and what this means for Ferrari heading into Monza, because make no mistake, this was more than a race, this was a reality check. Lewis Hamilton doesn't crash often. In fact, his reputation as one of the cleanest, most consistent drivers in the history of Formula One is built on the fact that he very rarely makes unforced errors. But at Zandvoort, that reputation took a hit. Lap 23, running in 7th, chasing George Russell for 6th, Hamilton had been locked in a tense battle, unable to find a way past but confident that Ferrari's strategy could open a door. The undercut was on the table, though Hamilton himself had expressed a desire to go long on his tyres. The SF25 had pace and Hamilton was managing it well. Then it all came undone in a heartbeat. Exiting the steeply banked turn 3, the rear of the Ferrari snapped. Hamilton countersteered, fought the car, tried to recover it, but there was nothing he could do. The Ferrari skidded wide, slammed into the barriers, and came to rest in silence. It was over. Just like that. Hamilton's first DNF in Ferrari colours, his first retirement since the 2024 United States Grand Prix, and one of the most painful mistakes of his illustrious career. For fans it was a shock. For Hamilton it was heartbreak. He had gone from building momentum to staring at wreckage in a matter of seconds. When Hamilton finally emerged from the car and faced the cameras, he didn't try to hide behind excuses. He admitted the mistake, he admitted the frustration, and he admitted just how much it hurt. "That just took me by complete surprise," he said, voice tinged with disbelief. "I lost the rear end at the bank and that was it. Apart from that, it had been a really solid weekend. I felt like I made progress. So to come away with nothing is painful." The honesty was raw. Hamilton made it clear that he felt competitive, that the car had the pace, and that points were there for the taking. Instead, he walked away empty-handed. But what defined Hamilton's response wasn't despair, it was resilience. "No, I'll get over it by tomorrow. I'll reset. We'll get back on it next week in Monza." This is what makes Hamilton different. Even in defeat, even after making an uncharacteristic mistake, he projects strength. He knows that one crash doesn't erase decades of brilliance, but the frustration was real. He wanted those points for Ferrari, he wanted to prove progress, and he left Zandvoort with nothing. Of course, when a 7-time world champion crashes, people talk. And at Zandvoort, Sky Sports commentators David Croft and Karen Chandhok immediately began dissecting what went wrong. Croft suggested that Hamilton might have run onto wet paint at the top of the banking, where grip is notoriously unpredictable. Chandhok pointed out how the camber of the track shifts from steep banking to flat surface, creating a tricky transition. He argued that Hamilton's car might have suffered a snap of oversteer followed by understeer, leaving him powerless. Was it driver error? Fans asked. Was it conditions? Was it just one of those freak racing incidents? The debate raged. But what nobody denied was this: Hamilton's crash changed the race. It triggered a safety car, and that safety car, ironically, ended up ruining Charles Leclerc's strategy. Just one lap earlier, Charles Leclerc had pitted from 5th place for a fresh set of hard tyres. The timing seemed smart. The rain was intensifying, and Ferrari wanted to cover off the midfield pack. But then Hamilton's crash brought out the safety car. Suddenly every rival had the chance to pit under yellow flags. Gaining time, Leclerc couldn't recover. His carefully executed stop turned into a strategic disaster. As soon as Leclerc saw the safety car boards, he erupted. "No effing hell, oh my god, we are so unlucky. It is unbelievable," he shouted over the radio. The irony, of course, was cruel. The safety car had been caused by his own teammate's accident, but in that heated moment, all Leclerc saw was another Ferrari strategy backfiring, another moment of bad luck snatching points from his grasp. It was frustration boiling over, a window into just how much pressure Leclerc feels inside Ferrari. When the race resumed, Leclerc didn't sulk, he went on the attack, and his target was George Russell. Into Sector 3's chicane, Leclerc launched one of the boldest moves of the race, around the outside, cutting back to the inside on exit, brushing wheels with Russell's Mercedes as he forced the move through. The contact was hard enough to draw the attention of the stewards, but the pass stuck. This was classic Leclerc, aggressive, fearless, unwilling to back down even when circumstances had turned against him. It was also a reminder of just how fine the margins are in F1. 1 inch more, and the collision with Russell could have ended his race then and there, but he survived. For a while it looked like Leclerc might salvage something, but Ferrari's nightmare was far from over. Enter Andrea Kimi Antonelli. The young Italian rookie has been making waves all season, hailed as the future of Mercedes, praised for his speed, but also watched closely for signs of inexperience. At Zandvoort, that inexperience came crashing to the surface. On lap 53, Antonelli emerged from the pits on fresh tyres. Ferrari responded by calling Leclerc in. Both cars rejoined close together, and then at turn 3 it happened. Antonelli dived to the inside, pushing hard to seize the position, but the grip wasn't there. His car understeered wide straight into the side of Leclerc's Ferrari. The impact spun Leclerc violently into the barriers, ending his race instantly. Ferrari's second retirement. A double DNF. A weekend in ruins. Antonelli limped back to the pits with a damaged car, eventually rejoining after repairs. The stewards investigated and handed him a 10-second penalty, but for Ferrari that was no consolation. Their race was already destroyed. When Leclerc climbed out of the wreck, his body language said it all. Shoulders slumped, helmet tucked under his arm, disbelief written across his face. Speaking to the media, he didn't hold back. "It's a mistake from Kimi," he said bluntly. "You've got to be very aggressive on a track like this to overtake. Maybe it was a bit too much. He touched my rear left and that was the end of my race." But interestingly, Leclerc didn't frame it as just a rookie mistake. "Incidents like this can happen in your first year, but also in your fifth," he noted. It was his way of saying, Antonelli went too far, but mistakes are part of racing, no matter how experienced you are. Leclerc's frustration was aimed more at circumstance than at Antonelli personally. Still, the bitterness was clear. Another race ruined, another chance gone. 2 cars entered Zandvoort. 2 cars left in pieces. For Ferrari, the Dutch Grand Prix was supposed to be steady progress. Instead, it was devastation. Hamilton's crash robbed them of 1 car. Antonelli's collision destroyed the other. The result, a double DNF, 0 points, and a mountain of frustration. And now the team must turn to Monza, their home race, a race where expectations are sky high, where the Tifosi demand nothing less than glory. Instead of arriving with momentum, Ferrari arrived battered, broken and under fire. The Dutch Grand Prix exposed Ferrari's fragility. Hamilton's rare mistake showed that even the greatest champions can falter. Leclerc's fury revealed the emotional toll of constant setbacks. Antonelli's aggression highlighted the growing pains of a rookie eager to prove himself. But together, these moments created a storm Ferrari won't forget anytime soon. The question is simple. Can Ferrari recover in front of their home fans, or will Monza become the stage for another heartbreak? Drop your thoughts in the comments, hit that like button if you enjoyed this deep dive, and don't forget to subscribe and hit the notification bell so you never miss breaking Formula One stories.